Kia ora, tēnā koe, tēnā koutou, greetings. Welcome Aquarius to your June taroscope reading. Guys, I've been sitting here shuffling, getting your energies together, and I have finished the shuffling because the cards won't go in any further. So this month's reading is the same format or layout as last month's, using the same deck, the Rider-Waite. So with the shuffling done, let's move into June's cards and forecast and see what's in store for you, Aquarians. I will move those up a little bit. Just bear with me while we deal out these cards. Pretty nice looking reading from what I can see, guys, and it's hard to get all cards in focus with the camera I use, so either the ones closest to the camera lens are in focus and the ones further back aren't, or vice versa. So we'll just have to go with the way it turns out. You can pretty well much see those all in, so that's great, and I'm getting a lot of yellow and blue actually coming through. So yellow, the sunny feeling, and you have the sun, which is perfect, it's beautiful, and that's an intellectual colour which really works well with your intellectual mode of life, and the blue is also about thought and communication as well. So let's have a look. You have some really nice cards. If we look at your major arcanas, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 major arcanas. You have an ace. We have 1, 2, 3 court cards, all of them male type energy. So let's start with the very first card for June, up in the top far left hand corner, surrounded by a whole bunch of big crystals actually. So there's some sort of crystal energy connected there. The card is Temperance. It's the first of your major arcanas, and I notice your major arcanas are kind of clumped together. They're connecting to each other somehow. So there'll be this kind of convoluted or combined energy throughout the month that takes you from one universal perspective to the next as you traverse the month. Temperance is the card of balance, and it tells us that we require balance about things, especially the way we handle situations, people, emotions, relationships, and ourselves. Now that card there with the angel, the Aphrodite looking angel, is pouring water to and from golden chalices. So there's something quite specific about water in the reading, and I think to be hydrated, for some of you being near water could be quite significant, and possibly for those of you in the northern hemisphere. As you come into your summer, I guess June is the first of your summer months, so whether or not you will find harmony and balance and enjoyment when you surround yourself with bodies of water of any type, that could also be relevant for you. It does talk to us about especially balancing our tempers, so think twice about any arguments you engage in, or the way you engage in discourse or communications with people. You, particularly Aquarians, as the air sign, have the practicality and the potentiality to really choose the words you use when you want to get a point across. So choose the best words that you can, and then it will the whole situation will flow better. The next card next to it are kind of they go hand in hand. This angel almost looks to replicate itself from there to here. So there's definitely something that they're trying to tell you in that very first beginning of June. You need to listen to something, because this one here with this loud trumpet often makes me think that you have to hear something that's being told to you. It's either your inner intuition guiding you, or you're literally being told something within conversations, or it's being handed to you on a plate. Sometimes we can be blind and deaf to it because either A, we don't want to hear it, or we can't see the wood for the trees. So this is about reading between the lines of situations in particular, and this card also gives us that kind of feeling as well. So you need to have your wits about you and try to get to behind the scenes of issues. Now this could be to do with yourself and your own life path journey. You might be coming to a point where you're thinking, maybe I'm not really addressing some of the things in my life that I should be, or I'm not following my true calling, or I'm missing something somehow. So you might be trying to connect the dots of why you are where you are. You might be wondering what's missing in life. That's a lot of the type of messages that come with the Judgment card. But it's very much about connecting to your intuitive and your spiritual assets and abilities and directions, hearing what's being said at deep levels. Could be dreamscapes, could be clairvoyance, psychic abilities, very much synchronistic events as well. Tuning into them, listening to them, and trying to understand what needs to be taken on board to make changes in many ways. I like the Judgment card. I think it wakes us up and gives us a bit of a shake-up and tells us that there's opportunities out there, but we need to be on board to take them. This one here, the Eight of Cups, with the ecliptical sun and moon in the background, often harks back to the energies of March when the eclipses were around. So something may have happened then that started on a journey that is still transmuting its way now, and so the energies may be reborn or continuing, and this could be the final stages of something that started then. So this card is often about moving away from emotional issues or something that you have invested time in, that you have felt connected to. It often is relationships, and it often is romantic relationships, but doesn't have to sit in that level only. So this can be businesses that you may have started or wanted to start, or cooperatives or collaborations with people. But it feels as though there was an unbalance in it, so someone was giving too much or not enough, and it's time to kind of move on and readdress situations. I think maybe that's why these two go hand in hand here. You've definitely been told to make some changes, and you need to listen to where it's coming from. I always think with moving on, we move into the brighter future, and what we leave behind, we don't really leave it, but we've learned a lot on our way. So always take what you've learned. Don't just go with sadness or bitterness or anger. Take the love lessons as well, and remember the good times and the fondness and the happiness that was always around any situation. As you walk out of this, you head into this, some sort of proposition around you for financial prosperity. That's a wonderful card to have, the Ace of Pentacles. A lot of people would be really happy to see that in their reading. So it often is the forebearer of a financial gift of some sort, sometimes an increase in your wages, such as a pay rise, or the possibility of a new job, or just your finances ticking over and new creative ideas coming which can expand your finances. Have you heard of the term pop-up? Everywhere we go in society now, we seem to see this occurrence of pop-up businesses in particular, and they can be really small businesses that just snap up out of nowhere, and I get the feeling of something like that when I see that hand in mid-air. So there's the possibility of pop-up financial increase for you one way or another from whatever avenue or venue. Come to the second line, the card on the left, the King of Pentacles. You're still sticking in that money realm at that point in time. Now he's a great guy to have around. He's sort of like quite business oriented. He knows about finances and investment and banking. He's quite financially stable. He could be a friend or a potential employee, or someone that you are going to collaborate with one way or another. Again, he has the feeling of positivity around the financial sector of your life. So he bodes well in a reading. I see the Fool is walking into him. Now, the Fool and the Sun together, two great cards to have positioned right next to each other, because they both have the Sun in them. And in fact, these three here have got this whole Sun and lunar and ecliptical energy quite expanding themselves within your reading. The Fool is about new beginnings and heading out and deciding that this is for you. So I think you may have listened to these cards up here and connected yourself with the Fool down here, and then you're backed up with the Sun. The Fool is primarily about you, not other people, and it's about fulfilling your personal and inner needs, goals, desires, wishes and dreams. Sometimes it means that when you head off on this journey, you are not really thinking of others and you may leave others behind. Consequently, that card's also connected. But it's a wonderful empowerment card because it's so important about your journey in life. You come here to fulfill your soul's requirements, so you must at some point in life be saying to yourself, this is my life. I have to go down a certain road and be pleasing myself. It's a beginning card. It's very much the essence of new beginnings, new directions, new adventures. And I see that he's walking into this. So I wonder if somehow this is the possibility of something new around your financial sector. So, and it's a positive financial card to have right next to it. So I think that bodes really, really well. The fact that you have the Sun next to it just enhances it even further and gives it more positive, universal, global energy of like power, positivity, harmony, sun, energy. It energizes everything. So the Sun is known as like the love card. It offers life and it offers happiness, the feeling of warmth, that glow of the summer sun basking on your skin, you know. I'm such a lover of summer and we're heading into winter down here, so I could live in eternal summer. And the Sun card offers us the feeling of being like a child, you know, having that freedom to be happy and carefree and wonderfully excited. So new energy comes into your life, and this can be also fertility, sexuality and new relationships as well. So there's that propensity when the card's around. Oh, I hadn't really noticed the Knight of Pentacles in the same row. There's definitely something tied up into this money realm in the first sector of your month of June. So again, right beneath this one, there's that offer coming back to you again. So finances are playing a part and they seem to be golden, or they seem to be enhanced by something. This is another offer potentially. Could be jobs. Again, you might be applying for jobs, some of you, and get quite a few offers of them, or pay rises or increments, or the creative ideas around your money. As I said, pop-up businesses for some reason. Have any of you heard of this Airbnb, which is a global hotel? Well, no, it's not hotel, it's homestay accommodation, and it's becoming very, very popular, especially with the number of tourists travelling around the world. Now, if any of you have a home, a nice home in any area, you can actually rent rooms out on this Airbnb and be making quite a lot of money from it, as long as you're a good positive host with a nice location for people to stay in. And this is the sort of thing I'm talking about with this pop-up businesses that come to mind. There are ways to make money out there for so many people if you just sort of expand your thoughts. Get out of the way that we have always been used to making money, which was fundamentally in the traditional form of locked and loaded businesses. Now money can be made in so many different formats and avenues, and it's just about creating the ideas, really. This could also be a person that comes to you in the possibility of romance as well, or a new work colleague or friend that you find quite endearing and you have a connection to. And the same down here, the Knight of Wands, often a fire sign, creative, full of fire, gusto and energy. He can come in and often set people's hearts alight and racing. So there's quite a lot of fun and energy around him when he turns up. He could be a work colleague, but most likely he's in here for a bit of fun or something when he shows up. Some of you may be quite attracted to him, and often it is a man, the Knight of Wands, and he's younger, but he often doesn't stay, and in fact he's on the very edge of this reading and ready to head out again. So it could be quite a quick fun type of energy that rocks on in there in the middle part of June, and you might really enjoy it. You might even just meet him at a one-off party or event and think, God, he was a neat guy, love to get to know him more. He's probably just zooming around doing the same thing to a lot of people. Doesn't mean he's not attracted or interested, but he's likely not to be held down in a hurry. You could meet him again anyhow, so he's a nice energy to have around. The 7 of Rods here just tells us that you're possibly feel like you have your back against the wall a little bit with some projects or ideas, and that you're guarding yourself. You feel a little bit guarded. Again, it tells us to be careful of the words we choose, and let go of the small stuff. So that's saying don't sweat the small stuff, just boot it out. You know, we all get too fired up over small things in life. I don't know what it is, we've just become so convoluted as humans. Everyone panics about the slightest little thing, and this card has that kind of feeling. It pays to not get so wound up and to just take a few deep breaths, do a bit of yoga or some Reiki or something, and smell the roses instead. So if this particular energy is around, let it deflate out and it won't actually have such a hold on you. We come here to one of your next major arcanas. I hadn't really noticed this pattern before, so these 3 are all in a direct row as well. The more you look at a reading, the more patterns you can connect. So as I said, your major arcana seem to have a convoluted flow through the whole month, and I've just picked that up even more now. I like the Hanged Man. He gives us time to contemplate again what it is we're meant to be doing. And so very much this message for you in June. He almost takes time out to make a few more decisions again, as if he's at a crossroads. Now, oftentimes this is the universe putting these blocks up, so you might be thinking, great, I'm all fired up and I'm ready to go, and then suddenly there's a stop to the proceedings. There's a stop for a reason, and the reason is that we need to reconsider something, and often we were slightly heading off in the wrong angle. So taking the time out to think about it gives us the chance to really review everything. You've got that message, you know, it keeps coming back to me. Review what you're hearing and really read between the fine lines, because there's something you've been missing or that you are currently missing. And when you make the connection, you'll go, aha, thank you, I needed to know that. So think of the Hanged Man as another opportunity to pick up those finer points and head you in a much better direction. Look straight back up to this lovely sun energy. I also think of this as illumination. Eventually you do get it, and it will start you off on a more in-depth or personalised inner journey again. Sometimes this can indicate neck and shoulder and back pain, so there's the possibility that you could go to an osteopath or get some sort of freedom in that area, free up some tension. There's your tension right there. He's quite tense in this whole head and neck area. So get it seen to and free it up, and often then that allows for this illumination from your emotions to be freed up as well. So it's not just a physical freeing up of the body, it's emotional and spiritual. We get to this guy here, the 7 of Swords, and he's again about making choices and sometimes wondering which way to go, thinking that you might be able to get away with something and hide a little bit of it. It generally pays not to do that, because usually we're found out. So it's also about making sure that no one else is doing that around you, because this guy, he could be doing something wrong, and this could be a work colleague or someone in a business or a friendship circle who's not being totally honest. So watch for covert goings on at this time, and be careful of your financial information and who you sign agreements and documents with, especially if you're purchasing something such as a car or a house or thinking of investing your money. Remember that saying, if it sounds too good to be true, then it won't be true. And that speaks volumes when this card turns up in your reading. We get to the bottom line here, and we see the 7 of Pentacles. He's a lovely card to have, and he tells us that you've been putting your finances in a pretty solid place, and that you have worked hard to accrue them. Your work ethics are paying off. You contemplate possibly, is there a better way to get them to grow even further. So you might be thinking at this time about ways of investing your money and the best places to put them, or keeping an eye on them. But whatever it says is that things that you've been doing in the past and your good ability and determination and hard work is slowly reaping rewards and paying off. We get to this card here, the Six of Pentacles, just one under the 7, and you've got 2 sevens connected there as well. Oh, and another one. So 3 sevens in your reading is something to think about. Sevens are very much a spiritual number and very much about yourself and going within and inner psyche. This card here, you will either be the guy giving out the money or you will be receiving. This is a card of balance, and it talks about in life we always go through patterns of giving and receiving, and whichever one you are in at this point in time, be grateful for either. And it's cyclical, so you will never remain just as the giver or just as the receiver. So that's why we need to appreciate each part of life and each journey and movement. I have a feeling personally that at this point most of you will be the giver, helping someone in support or in need. Every time you give, you have amplified your karmic energy 100-fold, and that giving will come back to you anyhow. Every time you receive, you are also allowing the universe to send you stuff, and by receiving you open the doors to being able to receive more as well. It's not just financial. This can be love, support, health, and it can be financial. So it's every single realm. We come to the High Priestess, another one of your major arcanas, the last one for the reading. She's got the crescent moon here in the bottom again. So we had the 2 ecliptical messages come back in, which, as I say, reiterate back to when the eclipses happened in March. So again, some sort of energy that was started then will be emanating through this month of June, possibly continuing on for July and further, because she's so late in the reading. So this can have to do with hormonal balance in the body as well as emotional balances, especially for adolescents coming into puberty and females moving through their various menstruation cycles. It can also be very much about the mind. We've got black and white, night and dark, female and male, eclipses and so on. So this is about understanding that every single thing in life has 2 sides. And when we come to realize that we also have 2 sides, the light and dark of us, the male and female, and by connecting with that, we create more of a whole picture of us and a whole energy. She holds the Torah on her lap, which is a very spiritual knowledge. It's as if you gain some spiritual understanding of the universe, and it's like it sends you this innate message, and you become more knowledgeable, more powerful, more intuitive, clairvoyant, understanding. It's like you've been plugged into another etheric part of the universe's knowledge. So it's a powerful card. The other aspect of it is it's quite sexual. These are ovum here in the background, if you like, and eggs. So this is a possibility of fertility and conception and sexual attraction, liaisons, meetings, activity and connection for both sexes. So that could be active towards this last part of June as well. And your final card, perfect for the end of a reading, it's a 10 number, it's the end of the reading. 10s are about moving on, they're moving into the next cycle. Embellished there in the heart of a rainbow colours and energies, with that happy family standing underneath, giving total gratitude and thanks to the universe for the love, the joy, the bounty, the harmony, the happiness, and the propensity to acquire these energies as well. So it's a magical card. You've got quite a few lovely magical cards in your reading that give off high notes of this ability to snap energy from the universe, grab it and empower yourself with it. So the 10, again, as I say, a very happy card about homes, families, people around you, love, harmony, joy, light, prosperity, connection to the universe. Bang, she's all great. So there you are, Aquarians. You have another nice reading for the month of June, and a nice with that sun disposition, the Fool, the Ten of Cups, some of your other beautiful universal energy learning, connection points as well. Money on the offer. Very nice reading. Really cool. So thank you guys for joining me, and I wish you the very best for June. I appreciate all the comments you leave, and I thank you again for subbing, liking, and following me. So ka kite anoa, much aroha everyone. Namaste.